Hey guys, in this video I will show you some simple lineups with Gekko and Icebox, and we will start right here when you are attacking and with this default plant post plant lineup. So all you need to do is go in on this line right here. As you can see, it's pretty much the first line that is hugging this wall, and then you just simply place your crosshair in the height of this wall, if this corner right here, and line up with this wall. So you should be aiming pretty much at this spot. Doesn't have to be very precise, you just simply throw it. And as you can see, it lands perfectly on the spike and it can deal damage to anyone who will be defusing. For the other spot, you wanna be clearing behind this generator area. So for this one, once again, go into the same spot as you were before, right there. And for this one, you are placing your crosshair right on the corner right here, right in the middle, right there, and you simply throw it. So as you can see, it will land perfectly in front of this green box, covering anyone who would be in this area, and it gets even behind the box. So this is one of the best lineups to use for clearing behind this box. Next lineup would be for this default plant and for plant right here. So all you have to do is go back right here, start in the middle of this wall, and place your crosshair on this corner right there on the roof, and simply throw it. And as you can see, it lands pretty fast. It would get anyone right here or anyone defusing all the way here in the back. If you like to plant on top of the site right there, you can for example use this lineup. You just want to be standing on the line in front of this box. This one, it's the line next to the previous one, and you want to simply place your crosshair on the bottom left corner of this this hoist and simply throw it. And as you can see, it will land directly and super fast on the spike, getting anyone on top of it. If you want to deny plant, you can for example do lineup from here, and it would look like this. Just simply place your crosshair on this line right here and make sure it is in this height, like that. You just want to be aiming a little bit left from this corner, so that way it bounces off the roof, and it would look like this. As you can see, it would get anyone who would be planting here, and it would go pretty far as well. You can also try to deny plant by simply throwing it off and bouncing it off the wall like that, since as you can see the range on this thing is insane, and if you just simply bounce it off like that, it should work pretty much every time. You just want to be aiming anywhere in this area, running forward and throwing it. And as you can see, the default plant would get every time. Moving on to B side, you can do this simple lineup. Simply stand behind these boxes right here, place your crosshair anywhere in this area. It doesn't have to be very specific, you just want to be placing in this part right here, like that, and simply throw it. It's gonna go over these boxes. I would recommend you to practice this one at least once, so that way you know if it works or not for you. So, and it would land like this directly on the spike. And of course you can always bounce it off very simply. For example like this, if you climb on top of these boxes and simply bounce it off, you don't have to do anything very special, just you can eyeball it, and as you can see, it would usually land perfectly on the spike and get the enemies off of it. You could also use a little simple lineup from here. Once again, if the enemies are planting, you can go behind this box and place your crosshair on these doors, go up until you are leveled with this crane, and it would look like this. Very simple, you can pretty much eyeball it, since you are aiming right here and between them. So it would look like this, and you simply throw it, and as you can see, it's gonna land perfectly in the area where the enemies would usually plant, and you can do a lot of damage to them. And this would work from snowman as well. Just go into the corner right here, and once again you are aiming at this crane right here. Depends where you wanna throw it. You can aim on this corner. I would say it's probably one of the best ones. Simply right there, as you can see, this one, and as you can see, it's gonna land perfectly on the spike, covering this whole area. So once again, you can deny the plant or at least do some bit of damage to the enemy. So let's move on to Wingman. There's plenty of ways that you can use him to plant. You can simply send him to default spots from a lot of corners. As you can see, you can set him most importantly here, and of course you can do it right here, but it's quite difficult to line up. You would have to jump and aim there, but there's another option. You can always send him right here on this spot. Simply make your ways to the pipes, and aim right there and jump. And as you can see, the wingman is able to plant there. He would just simply climb his way all the way here and plant the spike for you to play the post plant. You would have to always, of course, support him with your util so that the way he can make his way there. But I don't think it would be that difficult if you use your, for example, Viper wall through these spots, and one of the flashes right here. It would be quite easy to clear, and if you can use your Moshpit to clear the right side, you are pretty much guaranteed to plant it. So definitely give it a shot. Of course, you should have in mind that you can use your Wingman like a boom bot. He can clear these close corners and give you the info if there's anyone right here. Just very simple like this. You can of course send him to the spike just to clear it, for example like that, and he can get you some info if there's anyone backside or anywhere near. You can also use your Wingman right here on B, however, as you can see right here, however, you cannot send him right here. It was bugged and he cannot climb these ropes, so far, since I'm recording it, he cannot, but maybe in future he can. But as you can see, you cannot place their spike there, so you can only do this, but it's still super good to use. Super simple. You can just simply aim on the ground right here, send him to plant, and as you can see, he would plant it for you, and you can play post plant immediately. It would be very difficult for enemies to stop this plant, and you can use this into your advantage. Of course, you can use Wingman once again like a raze boom bot, for example, to clear corners like these, where he can check it for you and get you the info. You can send him behind the yellow or anywhere near. When you are defending, you can simply keep him for defuse, or I would rather use him to clear close corners if the enemy is there. If I know that the enemy is there, I would just simply send him there to try to stun him, since he doesn't last for so long. However, on A, I think it's one of very useful tools, since he can clear you under heaven, go backside, and get you the info if there's anywhere there. You can use this from heaven or from anywhere actually. So there's plenty of possibilities, but keeping it for defuse is, I would say, more worth it, honestly. Let's move on to flashes. One of the ways that I would recommend you is to use your flashes to gain as much space as possible early on in the round. So when the barrier goes down, just simply don't be afraid to flash this immediately, so that way there's no chance that anyone can use operator from that spot. On A, when you are attacking, I would recommend you to do one of these flashes, for example like this. Simply aim directly above yourself and throw it. As you can see, the flash will go very high up, and there's a good chance that there's gonna be enemy inside of it, anywhere in these positions, and it will stun him, blind him. So, and then you have also the possibility to capture it. And then if you are pushing, just simply, you can always do anything like this to gain more space for your team. If it lands backside, you can always, usually, this is pretty safe since there's a lot of corners where you can hide it for you to pick it up, so don't be afraid to use it, especially on A. If you are pushing here on B, you can use, for example, one of these flashes. Simply throw it like this, it will bounce off back to you, and you can take it back and use it again in 10 seconds. So that's one of the ways how you can use your flashes. Once again, you can do this pretty much anywhere on B, as you can see. And then when you get closer, you can always try to use it. For example, you can bounce it off once again off this wall. It will come back to you, and you can pick it up. Giving you the info if there's anyone in these corners, since as you can see, it would spot them here. And then later on, you can once again, for example, do something like this. Aim it directly above yourself, jump and throw it. And this one would go really high up like this, and get you the info if there's anyone snowman, for example. And you can always retreat it back. You can use this in a post plant plenty of times actually. And simply when you are once again pushing, you can use him like this, so that's pretty high up, so that way it would spot the enemies. So have that in mind. If it's in the line of sight of this thing, it will get you the info of the enemies. When defending on A, there are two ways. Once again, aiming directly above yourself, so that way it gets you the info if there's anyone. Or you can maybe bounce it off of if you are playing backside, you can do this here as well. So for example like this, it will bounce up, get you the info, and once again you can use it. You can use this from spawn as well, for example just like that. As you can see, if it was this high up, you can see the info if there's anyone in these areas, pretty much for free. Play on B, this is pretty much the same thing as I showed you. You can do this behind yellow, either once again aiming directly above yourself, peeking with it, or once again, as I did before, you can bounce it off of the wall, so that's where you can take it, and in the meantime it would flash anyone there. You can get back, retreat, and just simply reposition. And lastly, I should mention my ult. You can use it, for example, in this spot, near these close corners, and try to find if there's anyone. If there's not, I would recommend you just simply go back, and then you are in a pretty much safe spot to take the orb back, and in 10 seconds you can use it again. If you however, if you find someone, go for a stun, and however, if you don't see anyone, you can use the extra 2-3 seconds to get a little bit back, so it is easier for you to pick the ult back up. You have 2 uses of this orb, so for the first one you can use it to gain info and go back, and for the other one you can just use it as a stun. So that's one of the ways how you can use your ult. Don't forget to try this, and I hope this is gonna be helpful for you. That's gonna be for this video. I hope this was helpful for you. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and see you guys soon. Bye.